Hey everybody, it's Jo. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to share with you something that is perhaps a little bit different to some of you. So I have been scrapping for a long time now, and generally I scrap 12 by 12 photos, but probably in the last 12 months I suppose, I've really struggled to scrap 12 by 12. I felt like I was scrapping photos that didn't really have a lot of meaning. As my kids get older, I find that I'm not getting as many photos, and a lot of them are just snapshots that don't actually need a whole 12 by 12 page. I have albums and albums in a back cupboard, and I'm actually starting to feel quite overwhelmed with them all. So I've kind of wound it back a little bit, and I'm finding now that I'm scrapbooking more so just for me and purely for the fun of it. To be completely honest, yes, I like to memory keep, but at the end of the day, when I'm gone, I don't really care what my kids are going to do with my scrapbook albums. If they want to keep them, that's fine. If they want to throw them out, they can throw them out. I've had the pure joy of creating them, and I'm lucky where we live in an age now where everything is on computer, so all their photos are on computer as well. And it's kind of come to me as well that a lot of the photos that I scrap are more my memories than their memories. So I've just kind of wound it right back, and I'm scrapping much smaller. So I've been scrapping on a 8.5 by 11, and also a 6 by 8. And I thought I would share with you just a little bit of how that looks. So this is just your normal letter size. My photos are 3 by 4, so I would generally scrap 3 by 4 photos on a 12 by 12 page anyway. This is another little one that I've done as well. So you can see the photos aren't anything of importance, but I just love to create, and for me that's what it's all about. I understand for some people it's about the whole document keeping and memory keeping. For me, this is just purely for fun. So this is my little book here. I thought I'd give you a little bit of a look through. A 6 by 8. So I quite often just pop things in here that mean something to me. Obviously my kids aren't going to want this later on, and I'm good with that. So just little moments that I've had in the last 12 months or so. My thoughts on vaccination day. Just like I say, little moments that aren't necessarily important enough for a 12 by 12 layout. So I thought what I would do today is I have this little photo here. Just move it out of the way. I have this photo here. Again, this is just a little snapshot that I took last night. I went out for dinner with some beautiful friends. This is a friendship that has been going for so many years now, and we don't see each other very often, but when we do, it's just like we've been together all the time. We always laugh so much, and yeah, it was just a special little photo for me, and I wanted to document that and just have a bit of fun with it. And at the end of the day, when it gets thrown out, it doesn't matter. It didn't need a 12 by 12 page. So what have I got? I'm keeping it very simple, and that's one thing that I do like with the smaller scrapbooking. So I've already cut my paper. I've got some backing paper here, and I've got some white cardstock. I've pulled out these transfer sheets, so I thought I would have a bit of a play with those because the colours look quite nice. And I've already done this because I didn't think that you would want to sit and watch me do that. This is called Detailed Leaf. This is a Pink Fresh product suite. I had to get the whole lot because I couldn't decide between the stamp and the hot foil plate. So I've used the hot foil plate here, and I have foiled, I don't know if you can see, I've foiled this one in, I think it's the Aura from Spellbinders, and this one is a green foil from Couture Creations, and I only want to use one. I'm not quite sure yet which one I'm going to use. I have a coordinating stencil which you can use with the foil plate or the stamp, and I've used, what did I use? I used Altenew ink set to colour the inks. So that's about as far as I've got. So let's see where this takes us. I'm going to pop that aside. Right. So my original thought was I want to have my photo here, This little photo as well, if you're interested in the size, this is a 2x3 photo, and I've printed that on a sprocket as well, a little sprocket printer. You could still use a 3x4 photo. That's entirely up to you. Some of the photos in my little album are 3x4. My first thought was just keeping it really simple, like this, with a little bit of background stamping possibly. But I got stuck because I didn't know what colour to use, whether to go with the green or this one here. I think I like this colour, the aura. I'm going to switch out. Right, so that decision's now been made. We can fuss with the details later. What I'm going to do first, I'm just going to pencil mark my photo here, just so I have a bit of a starting point, a bit of a guideline. Okay. Right. I've got a couple of oxide inks here for just a little bit of ink blending, and I'm thinking maybe some of this green, just a little bit around the edges. I'll just dab some of this off. So just to give this just a little bit of a light touch. And these are colours that I would very, very rarely use, orange and green. I'm very much a cooler colour person with the pinks and the blues. Okay. May have had a little bit of yellow on that brush, I think. That's okay. I think we can work with that. There we go. So just by framing it like that, it kind of draws your eye into the center more. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. Right, I have some of these rub-ons. So this is from the, I think this is a bit of an older one. Is it Alena? Not quite sure how you say that. These are really pretty. Kind of like those. You could actually use those ones as a title maybe. They're pretty too. I think to have these florals and that leaf is going to compete, yeah, a little bit too much. I think we might keep those florals for something else, but I can definitely use this for a little bit of background noise. Might do a bit of stamping. I did pull this stamp out. These are the old Kaisercraft ones. I don't even know if you can still get these anymore, but I love these little background stamps. So I was thinking of this wild honey just a little bit. Let's see how we go. So I'm trying just to kind of line this up a little bit. It kind of irks me when it's a little bit crooked. That's just my little bit of OCD. But let's see how we go here. So I just want a little bit coming out from the photo. probably enough. Let's have a little look. Because we're not going to see a lot of it. There we go. Could even put a little bit more over here maybe. Just going to use what's left on my stamp. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's have a little play with these rub-ons. I think kind of like this blue bit. I think could bring some blue into it, couldn't we? All these ones. Right. I'm going to stick with the more of the blues than the oranges. Here's my little stick gone. There it is. Whoops. So I do like to come back to my photo, or even if it's just a photo mat, just to give me a good guideline for placement. So this might not be something for you. You might like to stick with traditional scrapbooking. Yeah, like I said, I've really kind of reevaluated a lot of things lately, and I just felt like I was being overwhelmed with all these 12 by 12 albums. We've had a really big clean up at home here, and I've thrown out a lot of stuff that I've had for so long because I found that they weren't necessarily my memories. It was just some stuff that I was carrying around, and that's kind of how I felt with a lot of my scrapbook albums. I'd love to know though if this is something that you do, if you like the smaller size or you prefer to stick to the 12 by 12. Right, what else can we use? Where's that gone? Maybe we could put a little bit of orange in. So you can see I'm not really being overly careful here. I'm just kind of cutting pieces out of it. This piece may be a little bit too big, but let's see how we go. So what I'm looking at here, I don't want this to end on this same line as the stamping. So I'm either going to have to bring that up a little bit or lower it a little bit, and I think, shit, maybe I could even go over some of that stamping here. That might be an idea too. Let's try that, hey? Chunky nails aren't so good all the time. What have we got here? I love that these rub-ons are really quite forgiving. You don't need to be quite as gentle with them as you used to have to be years ago. And also these designs are really cool because it doesn't matter even if you miss a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I think that is probably maybe enough. Maybe we should put a little bit more just down here. I can probably come back and do that actually at the end. So then we've got this sitting on top of this piece of pattern paper. Look at that, it's just starting to come together, and I love how quick it is. I don't need to reinvent the wheel doing anything. It's still using all the same scrapbooking principles, just on a smaller scale. I quite like that, but I'm thinking maybe just a little bit more down here. Do want to keep the writing the same way though. I'm a little bit funny like that. Let's see. Scissors. Right, let's get this top piece stuck onto my pattern paper. right there, I think. Oops. Here, a little bit of glue. Actually, I'll just use tape, I think. Another little tip as well is that I'm trying to keep them relatively flat as well, because again, these little albums very quickly fill. So I'm trying to keep them relatively flat. So I think the only thing that I'm going to have on foam tape here is going to be my photo. Lined up. It's pretty good. Okay, now we just need a title, and I could use something from these rub-ons maybe. Together would work if I could find somewhere to put it. You and me would also work. Or the other thing is the stamp set of this has some sentiments and coordinating dies. So maybe that might be another way to go. What have we got? There is always a reason to celebrate. That would be all right. Life is beautiful. I'm just going to use that. I think that's all I'm going to need. I think it has a coordinating die as well. Does this one coordinate with it? Wait, look at that. It does too. Okay, terrific. So I've got some scrap cardstock here. Let's put that aside. I'm just going to use a stamping block for this rather than put it on my what do you call it, stamping platform. Okay, this is a new stamp, so I'm just going to rub my finger over the top of it. Awesome. Now we need dye. So I'm looking at this now, and you know, if this was on a bigger 12 by 12 page, you could then take this to the next level. You could add some flowers over the top of it. You could put a lot more texture behind it. For me, it just kind of simplifies a lot of the extra stuff. I can keep it simple. And it just gives me the opportunity just to take 5 or 10 minutes out of the day for me. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool that it's got the little die. I like that. Right, 2 seconds while I run that through my die cutting machine. Here we go. I kind of like that. Just pop a little bit of foam tape just on this side here. Oops. Okay. Right, and I think we just maybe need some Nouveau drops, and I think we might be done. Let's have a little look. Okay, we have green. We have, what else do we have? We have the gold. We have, what else? And white as well. White. I don't think I'm going to go green. I think it's starting to look a little bit too green for me. I could go gold to perhaps pick up some of the gold on that gold leafing. Or just going with the normal white. White is always nice, isn't it? Let's stick with the white. Right, so I'm going to go for my usual grouping of 3, maybe here, and maybe around here, I think. Let's see. There you go. These little pearls will flatten a little bit as well. Just wondering if this maybe might just pop a little bit of foam tape underneath there. Actually, I might even just pop a couple of pieces of cardstock. That might be a bit better. I feel like it's a little bit lopsided. Whoops. I think the foam tape is going to be too high then on that side, so that's why I'm just going to use a little bit of cardstock doubled up, and let's just pop that underneath. Careful not to put my fingers in those liquid pearls. There we go. That's better. It's sitting a bit more straight. So that's it. A little bit of 6x8 scrapbooking. Like I said, you could I could have added heaps more to this. I could have added some paper layers behind my photo, the doily, which I haven't added. You can obviously go a lot more embellished. This is just something that I like to keep simple. Like I said, I know at the end of the day, these photos aren't going to be around. It was just a little moment that I wanted to scrapbook and reflect on. So that's it. I hope that you will perhaps give this a try. And if you do, I would love to see some of your 6x8 or 8.5x11 creations. There is my bigger ones. Something a little bit different. Let me know what you think. Until next time, see you later.